Everything's hooked back up. You heard the misfire before, it was obvious. New coil pack installed. Exhaust is still going to leak because the first bank cat is still plugged. So we have the O2s removed so the engine can breathe. You can hear how nicer it starts up. You can see how smooth it is. Okay, I got the spark checker hooked up to number 1 on the coil pack, where we didn't have spark before. Now another thing to check, if you feel it's weak, just open that gap a little bit at a time. Like I said on Fords, on this Ford coil pack, I should be able to go up to 20. There's a little gauge in there. It's a pretty hefty gap. That number 1 cylinder still hooked up as we had it, where it wouldn't even jump a 10 gap before. Should be able to jump this 20. I don't want to run it with a misfire any longer than I have to. So my tests are pretty much done. Confirmed the issue by low spark using a simple, what, $10 spark tester, if that. Okay, here's the old coil pack. I just want to point out some obvious. I didn't see this from up top because there's so much stuff in the way. However, if you look here, hopefully the camera's picking it up, but there's a crack. It's about an inch long, and then it continues up around to the top. Same thing if you come over here, you can actually see where it leaked something or moisture has turned colors, and it leaked up into the top there of that crack. You can see as well. And most likely this is allowing moisture into the coil pack, and you know moisture and electric they do not combine very well. So whether or not that's the cause of this coil pack failing or not, I really don't have the answer for that. But you can tell it's cracked pretty good. Now we could bench test this as well. Maybe I'll take it to the next step and show you that, guys, to verify. I'm not sure if it's going to show up on the bench test or not, because it might be moisture related. Okay, so next thing I'm going to tackle is the wire harness, because when it leaves here, it's pretty much got my name on it. Even though I didn't make this repair, I want to make sure I did everything I could do to make sure it's correct. So the wire harness is color coded minus what they added. So red, solid red goes to solid red. This one's red with a white tracer, and that was pink at one time to pink. And green with white tracer will go down to green. I'm just going to take and snip these. Just like so. Here's a quick shot of the harness after I solder and heat shrink it. Now here's just a quick start after the harness repair. Okay, no more misfiring. So harness is complete, as good as I could get it. You've seen what I had to work with, so it's always hard when you jump in after somebody. However, I'm going to continue with the tune-up, then I'm going to climb underneath and do the cat. It'd be so tempting to start with the front. That's the easy one, so I'm going to save that for last. So I'm going to try to start with the back bank. These are a real bear to get to. I got the number 3 spark plug wire off, and got the spark plug broke loose. You got to reach way down in there. I'm going to change the plugs first, and then I'll go around and change the wires. There's the plug. And it's pretty fouled out from misfiring. Hopefully you can see that there. That's a good thing we're changing them. As you can see, it's a 5/8 spark plug socket with a 2.5-inch extension. Okay, I got the back 3 spark plugs gapped, ready to go. Got it around 53 thousandths, anywhere between 52 and 56, which is 1.32 to 1.42 millimeters. So you're going to want to gap your spark plugs. These are Autolite Platinums, AP605s. In case you're wondering out of curiosity. 55 thousandths, 56. Yeah, they still had some life left in them. Just that they were a little fouled. Alright, same dealio. Just gonna find a hole and put her in. I have a feeling this number 1 is going to be the hardest out of all of them. Now this one I'm going to leave inside the socket. Make sure you got a good rubber inside your socket when you go to put this in a hole. I guess you don't want any little baby spark plugs running around. No, but really, because you don't want your porcelain to crack. So it's all 3 spark plugs. Now the wire looms, you're going to need a regular screwdriver just like this one here. Let's see, there's a good way to pop them open, and just like that. There's one right back here. Does not look fun to get to. Yeah, same scenario. Pop it open like so. I know you can't see it, but that released it. There's all 3 wires. Now I was just looking at these wires. I don't know if you can see it from there. Just trying to find that spot, but of course I wiped it off. Well, I did notice on the number 3 wire, look at that. Most likely that was arcing to the block for sure. You can see all kinds of trace marks around it. Let's see if I can bring you in closer. Not good. So now if we wanted to have done a tune-up on it, we never would have found the source of the problems. But I think between the first wire we found against the heat shield, and now seeing this, I don't see any more except for this one. But that's telling me, yeah, this thing was misfiring for a while, most likely, on occasion. Maybe only when it was raining or whatnot. But between that crack coil, these wires, they all add up. Okay, prepare your new wire set. You'll find, well, at least in the set that I got, that there's 3 wires that are way too long for the back, and then there's 3 wires that are shorter that would never reach the front. The 2 were identical lengths. That's going to be cylinders 3 and 2. Then the next one longer is going to be cylinder 1. I'm not sure why they used a different color boot on this one. However, I did see one thing I missed. I'm going to put that little plastic loom on this from the other wire. And then I put this in the same spot, this little loom. Just unclipped it, flipped her in. So pretty much lay it on a flat surface, find the wires you need, and put them as close as possible. That's that little plastic loom I was telling you about for the number 1 wire. Whether you need it or not, They put it there for a reason, I'm sure. I don't think I get it any better. So that's the back. This brake booster line keeps popping out on me, so we're going to want to fix that too. And I'm going to put a hose clamp on that later because it has a metal clamp. However, it's too short, so it's not really doing much good. I know you can't really see it there, but it's two metal clamps with a cross like attachment piece, like so it's two clamps in one, and it's not long enough to reach the outer perimeter or out far enough to crimp onto the inner barb. So we'll take care of that in a little bit, but this is just something I like doing. If I have a hard time in the back like that, make sure I didn't mess anything up. Just look over everything, make sure that's the only hose I knocked off. Now I'm going to start it just to make sure it's okay, just for a short period of time to make sure I don't have any severe misfire, and if all's good, we'll jump to the front. So let's take and change the plugs just like I did in the back. Now we'll throw the new wires on it. I'm going to try the 2.5 inch extension. Just double check, I got all 3 of these gapped, ready to go. Forgot to start the camera back up. However, I'll show you what I used to get in there. Whoop, there's number 5. That one looks pretty foul. Probably original plugs, I'm sure. 5/8 spark plug socket, however it's 1/2 inch drive. And I had an adapter from 1/2 inch down to 3/8. And it brought me right out to where I needed to be. That's all the plugs. Alright, now we're going to do the wires. You remember we popped that one earlier. Just like so. Number 6 is the longest wire, and it's the middle coil. I just temporarily put everything in there, and then we could take up slack and put it wherever we need to. Alright, save the other loom. So yeah, after this one is where it crosses under. Okay, I think we're good. I just went over everything. Looks good. Not really too happy with the number 6 wire. It's like a mile too long. However, I got it to look as nice as I could. Everything's landed, pushed on. I went over everything twice, 3 times. Still got to fix that brake booster hose. However, it's hooked in for now. Let's start it up and make sure we have no misfires. If we're good, we can move it along. Okay, I'm underneath the vehicle now. Getting ready to drop the Y pipe. If you take notice, it's pretty straightforward. I had to pull the O2 sensor out. Just use the 7/8 open wrench, or an O2 socket will work. You have two retaining nuts. This on the front bank towards the front of the vehicle. 15mm nuts. I took and I removed them. Now I'm working my way to the back. Now this is on the back bank. You can see I have the O2 sensor removed already. Looks like you may have to in order to get to that retaining nut. 15mm. Come over to this side. You got one there. Then off your cat, you have a bracket that goes to the bottom of your transmission. You're going to take and remove that retaining bolt. And then right at your flex pipe, you have two retaining bolts. I just want to put the old one next to the new one. Make sure it lines up. It appears that everything's the same. Of course, that O2 sensor in the front was stripped out as well. Just pulls the threads right out of them. I'm not sure what's up with that. Sucks though, because there's nothing wrong with it. However, I got to run back to the parts store and get one more. Okay, I'm underneath. I got everything bolted up. You're gonna need a new gasket. A little 2, sensor 2. Bank 1. That's downstream. I was able to reuse the upstream. And sensor 2, downstream. Bank 2. Another brand new sensor. Alright, let's start it up. Pretty smooth. Don't hear any exhaust leaks. No misfire, so that's good. You're going to see some smoke as it warms up coming off the exhaust from my hands. In addition, some of the sticky stuff from the packing slip that they taped on the new cat wide pipe, it's almost impossible to get off. So that's going to all have to burn off. It's been running now for about a half hour. I'm going to take and clear the codes out. Pretty happy with the results. I popped this back in and I put a clamp on the brake booster hose. This cow. Yeah, I'm trying to pick up a new one. It's easy to replace, so put it on its recommended list. And like so. So the right blades, you could almost see where they were. I don't know what you look. Put them right back in the same spot. Okay, you got it down off the jack stand. Everything's buttoned back up. I'm going to start it up. Check the lever. I think we got it. Let's go for a test drive. So I know it's going to be hard to see because it's middle of the night. However, it seems to be running pretty smooth. Okay, I think we got it fixed, guys. I'll take it for a nice long ride. Man, what a challenge, you know? Sometimes you get these things thrown at you. You just don't know what to expect. All right. Here we are on a hill from a stop. Feels good to me. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed. Stay tuned.